But in the end, I wanted to say something or end with something that meant something in the context of this industry, and I did find a nice quote, and actually I borrowed it from an old favourite of mine, which is Bob Dylan, and it's a quote in relation to success, and I want to leave you with this, and that is that you're a success if you get up in the morning and go to bed at night, and in between you do what you want to do. So keep that in mind. Thank you. Really formal duties before we head to the after party. I would now like to announce the Independent Game Award winners and for 2006. And I should say that we had a lot of nominations for both these awards, and next year we hope that the conference will provide more space for more of those teams to actually show their work, show their games, I should say. I'd firstly like to announce the GDAA Independent Game Award Professional with a prize kindly donated by Sony Computer Entertainment Europe, which the winners will receive post today. The nominated companies were Iron Monkey Studios for Darkenlight and Endgame Studios for Slidatron. And the award for Independent Game Professional goes to Iron Monkey Studios for Darkenlight.
I'm not Simon Freeland at the Sony party last night. I'm not Simon. Thanks everyone who voted for Darkenlight. It's great for us to see Darkenlight get some recognition. It's been something that we've had in the studio sort of complete for about a year now. We still believe in it quite a bit, and it's nice to see it getting some exposure. Thanks to Film Victoria for the excellent funding program, without which we certainly wouldn't have been able to get Darkenlight off the ground. Thanks to GDAA and Sony for facilitating the dev kits that we obviously needed to get Darkenlight off the ground, because that was one of the key challenges for us. Special thanks for this have to go to Vula, who has been demonstrating Darkenlight tirelessly over the course of the conference. So thank you very much, Vula. And last but certainly not least, special personal thanks to Tony Lake, Managing Director of Iron Monkey Studios, for structuring our business in such a way that it gives us the flexibility to look at console development still and reinvest some time and energy and still passion in developing games across a wide variety of platforms. So thanks a lot, Tony. Cheers.
I'd now like to present the second award, which is the GDAA Independent Game Award Indie, with a prize kindly donated by Digital by Design, and again we've post today. There were four games on display at the expo, and these were Indigo Digital for Chiko Accidental Alien, Qantm College with Final Justice, the South Bank Institute of Technology for Frequency, and AIE Canberra for Jungle Escape. And I should say that the voting was very close, and this game won by just 7 votes. But I'm very pleased to announce that the winner is Qantm College.
Wow. Alright, I know it sounds cliche, but obviously we want to thank everyone who voted for us. When we first came here, we were just nerve-wracked. We had no idea what to expect, and we were so surprised by the turnout. Everyone had really positive things to say. There was great competition, and also I want to just thank Qantm also, obviously, for helping us get here. And yeah, that's it. Lots of words. Thanks.
Okay, well, we're coming to the end, and closing this inaugural Game Foundation Pacific Conference, there are a few things I'd like to say, and I promise to be brief so that you'll head off to Qantm's after party, but there are some people that I would like to thank. As I said at the opening session, we view this conference as a landmark event for our industry, as it did bring together for the first time developers and industry players from across the Asia Pacific, the US, the UK and NZ. And I think it's been a great 3 days, and it wouldn't have been possible without the time and hard work of a lot of people who I think deserve acknowledgement. So please indulge me for a couple of minutes more while I thank them. Firstly, let me thank all of our sponsors, particularly the Queensland Government's premier sponsor. Particular thanks must go to Martin Flutter and David Waller and the Queensland Government staff and the Asia Pacific offices. Thank you to Sony Computer Entertainment Europe for their support, including sending their tech team down from the UK for the masterclass and conference sessions. And thank you to Zeno for coming down from London as our keynote, and to Steve Werrett in Sydney for all his support for the conference, particularly in relation to the Sony party, which I know most people in this room thoroughly enjoyed, given the number of wasted souls I saw about 12 o'clock last night. And to Rebecca for her assistance in bringing down our Sony International delegation with the Loco guys from Japan. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge and thank Autodesk and their team for supporting 2 masterclasses and a conference program session, and also for a very nice dinner. Thank you for last night. Thank you to Brisbane Marketing, Deacon's, Chrome Studios, the Australian Film, Television and Radio School, the Australia Council, GameSpot, Tantalus, Qantm, Big Ant Studios, Pandemic Studios, QUT and the Sydney Opera House, all of our sponsors. I'd like to thank Andrew Heath from Magenta Box and Michelle Milton, who was outstanding as our conference convener, for their hard work on behalf of the GDAA to put this conference together. And I'd also like to thank the team at ICE Australia for all their hard work and support in making GCAP happen, particularly Georgina, Emma, Ashley, I'm going to say it's Lena, is that right? That's right. I kept calling her Layla, and Christine, but also thank you to all the ICE staff who've been involved behind the scenes. Many of them aren't here, but in Melbourne and Sydney. We've always had a terrific PR team work with GDAA over the past 3 years, and Dateline Media has continued to deliver again, I think, for this conference. We've had a lot of coverage across all the national dailies and radio, so we've been most appreciative of that. So I thank Susan Fitzpatrick and her team for that. The GDAA board has been very committed to ensuring that this conference was a successful event for local developers at low cost, and I'm very happy to report not one person has complained about the fee this year, which we really appreciate. That was a very important starting point for us, was to lower the fees so that more people could attend. And I'd like to thank the GDAA board, but in particular Mike Fegan from IO Gurus for his support over the past year making this conference happen. We had a lot of support on various subcommittees, and I want to thank all those people for their time and energy, especially the people who worked on the conference program and careers market. We took a lot of time to consult with the studios about what staff were interested in, and we really tried to create a program first time around that was, meant something to people that were coming, and so that you at least took 1 or 2 things away that really made it worth your while, and taking the time out from work and from Saturday your day off to come down here. There are some individuals who did give a lot of time and energy and support for the conference over an extended period of time, and I'd like to give them my sincere thanks. To Tony Reid from Red Interactive, Christy Cooper from Pandemic Studios, Robert Walsh from Chrome Studios, John Moss from Qantm College, and Evie Moran from Austrade. Thank you to Simon Lissaman for our very professional MC. We can't pronounce the name of our conference, but I'm sure he's going to get that right next year. For the past 3 days, I was particularly impressed that he managed to wear a shirt that matched the detail on my dress for the conference, and without any consultation with me. And for those of you that know me well, those things count with me, so thank you. Thank you to all our international speakers who made the trip down. We really appreciate your presentations and your perspectives, and I've been to some really interesting sessions over the past couple of days presented by those people. And thank you to all our local speakers, panel members and session chairs. We couldn't have done this without you, particularly those that came in about 2 days ago and